There's no doubt about how much Americans love movies. $6.54 billion was spent on movie tickets in 2022. But have we stopped for a minute to consider what we are spending our money on? In elementary school, we all learned about the structure of a story, or in this case, a movie. You have the introduction, exciting incident, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. But what I don't remember learning about was examining the influence movies have on our culture, ideas, and lives. Think about the last time you watched a movie. What was the general plot? Take the famous Christmas movie Die Hard, for example. Have you ever contemplated John and Holly McClane's marriage and why it's in shambles? Or the kids' movie Sing, where all the men in the movie are either in prison or mentally and emotionally absent. Or even deeper, in Shawshank Redemption, when Red is reading a letter left by Andy Dufresne. Hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. Hope in what? And how do we know that it's truly good for it to never die? We watch movies well as a practice to carry this over into our daily lives. Because we agree with Andy. Hope is a good thing, but he's I don't know why this is. Can you, if you guys are in the chat, can you let me know if you can hear me? All right, I think we might have it figured out. Sorry about that. Let's run it back here real quick. So I am Parker, the host of the Watchwell podcast. And I wanted to let you guys know we talked about the Clear Truth Conference at the beginning. I wanted to make sure that everybody could hear that. Join speakers Rosaria Butterfield, Steve Dace, Jamie Bambrick, Seth Gruber, Michael Foster, John Roseman, and Stephen Whitlow. Get your tickets at dangerousfriends25.com. Use code Watchwell25. One word, 2 capital W's for $25 off. March 13th and 14th. Come hang out in Ohio and make some more dangerous friends. If the audio goes out again, let me know. I was actually attempting to talk about Demolition Ranch's video that he did on his retirement. So we're going to try this again. Let's see. Hopefully we can hear it this time. Let's see if I can find this. Let's see if we can find this here. All right, let's take a look at this.
I made some gun reviews, some like comparison videos. I shot did some tests, like nothing crazy. Until a buddy and me were like, well, let's take all the birdshot out of a shotgun shell and fill it up with weird things and fire that and see what it does. Custom homemade shotgun shells. That went viral. It was crazy. And I'd been making videos for a while before that happened. So there was a big gap, like years in between dog versus deer, custom homemade shotgun shell. And I started getting subscribers, and it was crazy. And then another year went by, and I had another viral video. And then 6 months later, another viral video. And by 2013, I'm out of vet school at this time, and I have more free time because I'm not a student anymore. And I was like, I'm going to actually put some effort into these videos and make the videos good.
I'm not sure why this is not working here. Let me double check. I'm still not getting audio on the clip. There's gotta be something I'm doing wrong. For the 7 of you out there, we are going to figure this out. I promise. You guys can hear me, right? Anyway, we might have to just move on because I'm not sure why the audio for this is not coming through. Let's see, one more try here. Is the audio from the YouTube video coming through? Let's see. Can hear the video, just not as loud as me. Okay, well, let's try this again. This is the video I'm trying to show. Having a little bit of technical difficulties here.
And so I started like working harder on them and making them good. And that, of course, made them grow even more. So we started getting more subscribers and more views.
You can hear that?
It started taking off. And then in 2014, I started Vet Ranch because I'm a veterinarian and I do really cool stuff there. And I thought people would like to see it. And they did. And that started growing. And then I was thinking, well, I do a bunch of other cool stuff like car stuff and I build things and I like fixing up houses. I'll put all that on the Off the Ranch channel. It's off the Demolition Ranch and off the Vet Ranch. It's a perfect idea. And then that channel took off. And then pretty soon Demolition Ranch gets on the same level as all the other big gun channels that I had always been watching. I never thought I would get to their level. I didn't even plan to. It just kind of happened that now I'm up here with all these channels that I revered. And that was crazy. And then it kept going and it passed everyone. And we became the largest firearms channel on YouTube. And then Vet Ranch became the largest veterinary channel on YouTube. And then Off the Ranch just kept growing as well. And it was crazy. And we surpassed every single goal, or aspiration, or even dream I ever had, even idea. I never even had an idea this would happen. And we just passed it all. And it was awesome. Super fun. When you're doing really good on YouTube, you're your own boss. You make a good income. Everyone tells you you're awesome. It feels good. So we kept on going for years and years and years and years. And so now I'm
It's
like,
like
why am I
18
still
years.
doing this? I love YouTube. I've loved it. But I've surpassed every goal I've ever had with it. And my wife and I realized recently, and it sounds stupid to say we realized, but we really did. We realized our kids are getting old really fast. And they're not going to be in our house a whole lot longer. And that's hit us real hard. And I know that in the next few years, when all of our kids leave our house and we're empty nesters, I'm not going to look back and say, I wish I made more YouTube videos.
Yeah, that
Don't
right
look back.
there. That's a big line. So we've got really good perspective coming from Matt here. You know, obviously family is the most important. So I'm really glad that he's taking that perspective. But I mean, I'm gonna pull this back up here real quick. I mean, you've got over 11 million subs. Just a absolute huge following, and you know, 2.5 billion views on YouTube. You know, I mean, I've been watching Matt for, man, I don't know, something like gotta be 8 years, 10 years, something like that. It's been pretty nuts, you know. I didn't quite make the shotgun shells. In this video, he talks about the video he did on the shotgun shells, where they took all of the birdshot out of the shotgun shells and they filled it with a whole bunch of other different random stuff like tacks. And I didn't quite see that video when it first went live. I mean, I obviously watched it, you know, later, but it's crazy. So one of the things, when I saw this video, one of the things that it came to mind when you know, this video first dropped was that, you know, nothing, you know, you can grind and you can do the content creation thing and you can put all of it, you know, all of your effort into it, but everything has an end. Everything has a beginning, everything has an end, right? It's kind of what went through my mind. So, you know, it's really sad that, you know, for the viewer, you know, he says in the video, it depends on how you look at it, but it's really sad for the viewer that we're not going to be able to just tune in and see Matt, you know, continue his demolition. I mean, obviously, if this isn't clickbait, it didn't sound like it was, but it's sad that we're not going to be able to just tune in, keep getting his content and stuff like that. But for the younger gun tuber, the content creator, it's actually an encouragement that there's a passing of the torch, even in content creation. You know, you never know what's going to happen, and there always needs to be that new guy or gal or content creator, whoever, to grow and take the place of people that have already been doing it. You know, just like anything else in life. So, you know, it's going to be good for Matt. I'm glad that he's going to spend more time with his family and jump into this new chapter of life. So he did say in the end, if you haven't seen the video all the way through, that he's gonna continue doing a few videos and close it down and take care of the people that have been working for him. So that's really good to hear. And you know, for those that watch Matt, it's not a shock that he would take care of his people like that. But yeah, I mean, he did the Abandoned Mansion series, restored the abandoned mansion, and then they were going to sell it, but then they ended up moving into it. If you follow him, and then that blew up. That was a big success for views and watching him renovate the abandoned mansion. And then he went bigger and he bought the Desperado Resort, and he was gonna renovate the resort. He did that, and now with this video, he announces that he is going to retire and sell that resort. And I've heard numbers like 15 million. He's got it up for sale. Sad, but also positive. Family's always first, and when you make it and you don't really have to do it anymore, why do it? But leaving behind a huge fan support and following. That kind of brings us to our next topic. But before we get into that, now that we've got the audio working, I'm going to have you guys watch this, and then we'll jump into our next topic. Hey guys, real quick, I wanted to update you on something. So we've got our new merch site up and running. Finally, it's been a labor of love. We've got designs back there for hats, hoodies, t-shirts, all kinds of stuff. We've got a blanket back there so that you can grab the person you most enjoy watching films with. You can cuddle up under the Watch Well blanket. You can watch well together with some popcorn. Head on over to vindicatedproductions.com. Check out the new Watch Well site. Buy some merch. Support the podcast so that we can keep bringing you guys really, really good content to ultimately combat the passive consumption of entertainment and bring a more complete worldview to everybody that enjoys movies. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. All right, we are back. Thanks for hanging with me. You got to pay the bills with the ads, right? So this next thing that is going on in the X-verse, I almost said Twitter-verse, but X-verse, we are going to take a look at Dead Man Walking. So Dead Man Walking, every year, this is the third one. He's got his reformed podcast bracket of 2025. We're going to click on this and open it up. And it is sponsored by Rockwall Bibles, Eschatology 22, Patriarch Cigars, Vindicated Productions, Dominion Wealth Strategist, and Squirrely Joe's Coffee. This is a massive bracket. This is huge. I think the final number was 128 podcasts, Reformed Christian podcast. I think it was 128. He started off with just one side, and then he made a whole bunch of people mad because he left a lot of people off, I guess. So then he expanded it. But I mean, look at some of these matchups. You've got Haunted Cosmos against the Rebel podcast. You got the Westminster Effects. Shout out Cody Fields. And God's Law and Liberty. So this is just super fun, man. I am so excited for this. You got Will Spencer in there. Eschatology Matters. Speaking of this, you've got Corey Wing putting out some banger videos on Civically Minded. You guys should go check out those videos. He's really, really going hard in the paint against Eschatology Matters. So those videos are super funny. Corey's a great guy. Go check out Corey's videos. But this is super fun. I'm excited for this, man. February 10th through the 21st. You guys got to go to Real DMW Podcasts X page, and it's all polls. You just vote for the polls, and it's a lot of fun. I'm really excited. My first matchup is against the Ezra Institute, and they better be ready. I'm just saying, they better be ready. We got the Watch Well podcast in here somewhere. There it is, right here. So we got the Watch Well podcast against the Ezra Institute podcast, and this is their warning. They better be ready. So yeah, check that out. Go vote starting February 10th, and there's going to be more live streams on this coming soon. I think there's going to be one with Dead Man Walking this coming Saturday, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'm excited for that. This is going to be a lot of fun. So let's move on here to the Grammys. No, not the Grammys. Sorry, abortion. Let's talk about abortion real quick. Let's go to End Abortion Ohio here, if I can get the right thing to be pulled up. All right, so this, obviously we're in Ohio. Abortion's a big deal. Let's actually, I got another video here. We're going to throw it back to 2022 just to refresh our memories here. Let me know if you guys can't hear this, okay? We're going to try this again.
Had passed in Ohio. The room just erupted in applause, in cheering. People were hugging, people were crying, embracing when they learned the news that issue 1 had passed. That was just after 9 o'clock. Ohioans United for Reproductive Rights expressed their gratitude for those who supported the campaign. They say this decision on issue 1 is about Ohioans who value reproductive freedom, health care, families, and the ability to make choices that are right for them. We spoke to Lauren Blogveld, the co-chair for Ohioans United for Reproductive Rights, as well as those here tonight for reaction when they learned the news.
It feels right. This is what Ohioans have been saying. They finally got to speak for themselves, and it's clear.
Yes. So the absolutely restrictive, insane abortion ban that was passed galvanized all of Ohio. And as soon as that happened, we have to get out there and protect women.
Yeah, so we have to get out there and protect women by allowing them to murder their children. So that was 2022. Recently, I was made aware of this. We've talked about it on the live stream before. But if you guys go to endabortionohio.com, you can go to resources. And right here is the 2025 Ohio Abolition Bill. And if you click on download, it will show you. So I've highlighted some stuff on here. Let me see if I can center this in the screen to let you guys in on the scoop. So hang with me. So I just highlighted some interesting things. So the intent of the abolition of abortion, the intent of the Abolition of Abortion in Ohio Act is as follows: to acknowledge the sanctity of innocent human life, created in the image of God, which should be equally protected from the beginning of biological development to natural death. Let's skip down here. All of that sounds great. To fulfill that constitutional requirement by protecting the lives of preborn persons with the same criminal and civil laws protecting the lives of born persons, by repealing provisions that permit willful prenatal homicide or assault, to protect pregnant mothers from being pressured to abort by repealing provisions that may otherwise allow a person to direct, advise, encourage, or solicit a mother to abort her child. Moving on down, obviously you guys can access this if you want to read the whole thing. I just highlighted some of these because we're getting to this right here. Nothing in this chapter shall apply to the unintentional death of an unborn child when such deaths result from the undertaking of life-saving procedures on a pregnant woman, when such procedures are accompanied by reasonable steps, if available, to save the life of her unborn child, or a spontaneous miscarriage. That's what we see a lot in the news, right, guys? If you guys are out there, throw in the comments that a spontaneous miscarriage is not an abortion. Give me a thumbs up for that one. So what you hear from the left a lot is that the life of the mother, right? The life of the mother. That's all we hear. And it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So just know that if you start seeing this bill, if you're from Ohio and you are hearing about this bill, know that it's right here in, let's see, what section is this? Section 2903.24, and then you go all the way down to C. So if anybody says that the life of the mother is not written in the bill, you can show them this, End Abortion Ohio, and then go to resources, and it will, right here in the writing. This is, I mean, it doesn't get any clearer than this. Nothing in this chapter shall apply to the unintentional death of an unborn child when such death results from the undertaking of life-saving procedures on a pregnant woman, when such procedures are accompanied by reasonable steps, if available, to save the life of her unborn child, or a spontaneous miscarriage. I wanted to make sure that we double down on that because an abortion is not a natural death. It is a premeditated murder. And we're not going to shy away from saying that because it's the truth. So I wanted to touch on this. Again, End Abortion Ohio. Guys, go check that out. Print it out and share it with everybody. We have got to figure this abortion thing out in Ohio. I know that there was a bunch of pastors recently or soon. They were meeting at Michael Foster's church to talk about this and do a lot more work in this space. And we really appreciate them. Along with the bill right here on End Abortion Ohio's website under the resources tab, there's they've got the letter here that you can send to your legislator, and then they also have tips for contacting your legislator as well. So if you're in Ohio, join me in doing all of this and sharing that. Remember, premeditated murder is not a natural death, and it's different than a life-saving procedure. So now let's do something a little bit more fun that also people may or may not care about. We've got the Oscars coming up, the Academy Awards, and I host a movie podcast. So we're going to live stream it, and we're going to commentate. We're going to do a bunch of stuff, a lot of fun stuff, actually. Our movie review podcasts are actually going to build up to the Oscars. So if you guys are interested in movies, go ahead, follow me on Twitter at Real Parker Brown or X at Real Parker Brown. And then also on our YouTube page, you can go subscribe. And twice a month on Fridays, we have movie reviews that come out. Me and my cousin, he's my co-host, Nick. You can find him at Nick Sloan, I believe, on X. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't miss our podcast. We review movies, and we point out the truths in the movies that Hollywood steals from a coherent worldview that is the Christian worldview. But all of that to say, let's talk about some of these Academy Award nominees. So we've got Adrian Brody for The Brutalist here in actor in a leading role. We've got Timothy Chalamet. Timothy Chalamet, he was in Dune. He's in a lot of stuff recently, actually. A Complete Unknown. We've got Coleman Domingo from Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes from Conclave, and Sebastian Stan from The Apprentice. And I really think we've got this movie coming out on the podcast here in the next couple of weeks. I really think this one's going to be the front runner. I'm not super sure. If you guys are in the comments and know about any of these movies, let me know. Hey, what's up, Corey? I see you out there in the comment section. Hope your interview went well tonight, buddy. Or maybe it's just before you go on. But glad to see you in the comment section. Let's see. Timothy Chalamet, A Complete Unknown. I don't really know anything about this movie. I know The Brutalist we have coming on the podcast soon. Sing Sing. I don't really know much about this either, but I know Ralph Fiennes was in Conclave, and I've heard really mixed reviews about this movie. I've heard that the screenplay is beautiful on screen, but I also heard that there was some type of plot where, it's all about the conclave that, in terms of the Catholic Church selecting the Pope, and there was some type of, behind the scenes conspiracy that there was some like trans homosexual something or other that infiltrated the conclave and was trying to be elected the new pope. So I still have to watch this before March 3rd, March 7th, something in there when the Oscars is. I am blanking on the day, but it's definitely somewhere around the first week of March. So we've got to watch this movie still. And then The Apprentice, obviously I still have to watch too. But I've heard a lot of hype around this, so I think that this is where we need to be looking for actor in a leading role. So we'll see. Definitely see. Okay, so let's move on. Actor in a supporting role. We've got, I'm not even going to try and pronounce her name. And Honora. Some of these are, dude, I'll tell you what. I was going to do a this week's release. This, the videos that we do on X and YouTube, we were trying to do that once a week, where I would get on there and do something funny and talk about the movies that we're releasing that Friday. in the last 2 weeks, it's been duds, man. Like, some of these movies are just awful. And if you haven't seen it already, go check out my video on Flight Risk with Mark Wahlberg, directed by Mel Gibson. And I think that you'll enjoy that. I think it was pretty entertaining. I had a lot of fun making it. Terrible movie, but go watch it to figure out why it was a terrible movie and then come back. But again, we're seeing The Brutalist here, Guy Pearce. Let's see. The Apprentice is coming up again, Jeremy Strong. We're just kind of cruising through some of these here. Actress in a leading role, obviously, Wicked was a huge release. Cynthia Erivo and Amelia Perez. I'm not really familiar with this actress here. Carla. Let's see. Mikey Madison and Honora. That's coming up again. This was a big release too. This is on our list to do on the podcast. Demi Moore and The Substance. I think it's a lot about body image, and there's a pill that she takes, and she gets younger again. It's about some model. So I think this has gotten a lot of hype, especially with Demi Moore. And I'm not sure, but I have Corey, if you're still out there, do you know? I know Corey's a movie guy. Did she win something for this? I think I remember her winning something for this recently. I'm not sure, but we've got this person, Fernanda Torres, as well, up for actress in a leading role. I'll tell you what, man, they come out with so much stuff, it's hard to keep up with all of it. Actress in a supporting role, Monica Barbaro for A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked, again, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist. We see this again. Conclave is up again, Isabel Rossellini. And then we have another Amelia Perez nominee for Zoe Saldana, which Zoe Saldana is really good. She's a great actress. So another thing that I want to point out too, have you guys noticed, post in the comments if you've noticed this too, if you've noticed that they are getting rid of gender in language. Notice this right here. Actress, and if we scroll back up here, actor. Right? So we've got some gender differentiation here in the language, but when you see all of our celebrities talk in interviews, you will notice that they are removing that. You will have females just calling themselves actors. And I always correct them. You can ask my wife. I always correct them even though they can't hear me because I think it's stupid. Girls and females are actresses. Males are actors. All right, so let's keep moving on. I'm going to stop rambling on my own little thing here. Actress in a supporting role, Monica Barbaro, Ariana Grande in Wicked, Felicity Jones again in Brutalist. Maybe I already did that one. I think I already did that one. All right, animated feature film. This is another big one. Flow is up. Inside Out 2, that was a big one. And then down here, right here, Wild Robot. We actually just recorded our episode on that. You can expect that in the next week or two. This was a very interesting movie. I actually really enjoyed Wild Robot. There's a lot of themes of like motherhood. So it's interesting because you have this robot that is obviously doesn't have a gender. And outside of being told that it's a mother, you know, and outside of the robot's voice, obviously, you get hints of motherhood, even if you weren't told any of that. And it transcends that truth of how a mother acts around her children, transcends even what you're told in the movie and what the movie wants to construct. So that's really interesting. I would actually really advise someone or really encourage someone to watch that with their kid and talk about those kinds of things, you know, the difference in the gender, how dads treat their kids as opposed to how moms treat their kids, and how and then also another theme in there is the robot has programming, and in order to complete its task of raising this goose, I know it sounds crazy, but raising this goose, it has to recode its programming, and there's a lot of themes of saving yourself by deconstructing your nature and changing something about yourself, saving yourself, very self-help, continuing education type things. And we know that what scripture teaches, in terms of regeneration and accepting Christ and, exchanging the heart of stone for the heart of flesh. We can't do that in and of ourselves. So it's those themes are super interesting in that movie. So if you haven't seen The Wild Robot, go check it out. And then in a couple of weeks when our episode comes out, watch that too. So let's keep moving on here. Animated short films. I'm going to be honest. I don't know anything about these. Cinematography. Yeah, this is going to come down to The Brutalist. You see this here. And then Dune Part 2. This was beautiful on screen. If you guys haven't seen, I've also seen, this was interesting, this trailer, this Nosferatu, for those that like horror films. There was a quote in the trailer, and I'm probably going to butcher it, but it said something like, this thing that was in this spirit, or this whatever this thing that they were claiming it was more evil than evil itself. So ever since I heard that line in the trailer, I've been interested to do a movie review on this, or some type of, maybe like a more of a YouTube kind of, we do like I did with Flight Risk, where I kind of watch the movie and then do more of a short form kind of smaller formatted review of it. But that line kind of stuck with me, to think that through a little bit. More evil than evil itself. You guys have any thoughts on that in the comments? There's 33 people listening. There's got to be somebody out there that has a thought on this quote, more evil than evil itself. Super interesting. And then if you guys also, who has seen Dune Part 2? Let's see if we can get some of you guys commenting in here and sharing some of your thoughts. Has anybody out there seen The Brutalist? Maybe somebody's seen The Brutalist. All right, let's move on to costume design here. I know Gladiator 2, that was, I would say decent. It was entertaining. Conclave looked really good in the trailer on screen. That might be a good one. Wicked was, I don't know. Wicked was awesome. I thought Wicked was really good for costumes. And that scene where they were in the, what was it? The library, and they were doing the song, and they were in that wheel. They were in this wheel, and the choreography was incredible. I know that that's not the category that we're talking about, but it was really cool. So I would imagine that it would go to Wicked. Yeah, Wicked's gonna clean up. That's right, Kayla. I think Wicked's gonna clean up. Let's see here. I would really think costume design would go to Wicked for sure. I don't know. Maybe Conclave. We'll see. I'm gonna place my bet on Wicked here. What do you guys think? You think Wicked's gonna win? Directing. Yeah, this is the Demi Moore film, The Substance. That'll be interesting to see. See, we got The Brutalist here again. A Complete Unknown. I'm not sure about this movie. I might have to do some more research on that. Be interesting here, but maybe The Substance, that'd be interesting. I'm just thinking that in, the woke Hollywood body positive thing, that this would kind of be the one that they would push, especially with, I really think Demi Moore won a Grammy for this. I want to say that. If you're in the comments and help me out, but my memory is saying she won that. So if she won that, then I'm thinking that maybe they'll usher her in here. But dude, we've got so much here. Again, we've got Conclave, and then we've got all the stuff that people, don't normally keep up with. But, Wicked will probably win this right here. Makeup and hairstyling, Wicked will definitely probably win that. And then music, original score, you're seeing The Brutalist again. A lot of the mainstream, The Conclave, Wicked, music, original score, Wicked. Wild Robot was pretty good with music too, but it's not going to win. There's no way that'll win. I bet you Wicked wins. And then Best Picture, we come to Best Picture here. So Dune Part 2, Conclave, The Brutalist, Complete Unknown. The Substance again, Wicked. What do you guys think? Best Picture? You think it's going to go to Wicked? Yeah, I think it's going to go to Wicked. Yeah. Definitely Wicked, right? It's got to be Wicked. So that's a rundown. That's a rundown of the Oscars. The Oscars. I don't know. Well, yeah, Dune 2, Best Picture, Dune 2, probably. That's probably a good one. Yeah, that's up there for sure. But yeah, that's our rundown. So we're gonna be following this. For you guys that are here with me tonight, we're gonna be following this all the way up until the Oscars, and then don't forget to join us on the live stream. And each of us, Nick, my co-host, and I, we're gonna have our bets and our selections for which one we think we're gonna win. We're gonna do it kind of like a guessing thing, and all the way up leading to that, our movie reviews are gonna be in these categories. So we're gonna have a little bit more information on each of these movies. And that way, when we usher in the live stream and the Oscars, we'll have a really good, robust take on each individual movie, and it'll be good. It'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, hit the like button, subscribe. Do the social media thing. Don't forget, you can always leave a comment, and I don't bite. We have a lot of fun on here, and we love movies, and ultimately we want to bring entertainment back to the feet of the cross, because that's where it belongs. In short, that's where it belongs. So cool, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I really appreciate it. All 45 of you. You guys are awesome. Again, we really, really appreciate it. Dangerous Friends in March 13th, 14th. Go check out those speakers. DangerousFriends25.com. Get your tickets. Come say hi to me. I'll be there in a podcast booth. You may even find yourself on a Watch Well episode. Come tell me about your favorite movie. Come make more Dangerous Friends. WatchWell25, one word, 2 capital W's. Promo code, you can get $25 off your ticket. And don't forget, we got our merch site up and running. And you guys can check out Watchwell podcast merch. We have our Sola Scriptura, the 5 Sola. We've got the 5 Sola sweatshirt collection. It's got Sola by Watchwell on the front, and then down the arm, it's got one of each of the 5 Solas. We also have a brand new design up there, which is really cool. It's combating the passive consumption of entertainment. It's really cool. It's got a TV on there, and we just put that up there today. And I'm trying to think if I don't forget anything else. Go subscribe to us on YouTube if you would. We'd really appreciate it. Our goal this year is 1,500 subs. We're really trying to monetize. We love this stuff. We're getting really good feedback every day from the podcast. People talking about how they're really glad that there's content out there that is being positive about movies, and talking about truth and morality, giving parents a way to, talk to their kids and start bringing the theological, underpinnings of movies and the messages contained within the movies to their kids, obviously within the appropriate movies. Stay tuned for Wild Robot. We've got all kinds of content coming out, and go subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter or X at Real Parker Brown. Follow my co-host. I know he's not with me tonight. Follow my co-host at Nick Sloan on X, and stay tuned. We've got a lot of stuff coming. I'm excited for all this stuff, man. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a great year. And with that, I think we're done. Go watch a movie, and don't forget to watch well, guys. Don't forget to watch well. All right, we'll see you.